Well, the reality is that they're going directly to the audience.
Yeah.
And the audience says, I like
I want
you.
that. Mm-hmm.
I like what you do, and I want to see more.
Yeah.
And that is really, really, really valuable, especially when there's a bunch of experts out there who will tell you that's not good. No one wants to see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you can show, hey, I'm already doing it.
Yeah.
I'm already doing it on my social media.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has 5 million views. That has 20 million views. That has 200,000 followers or whatever it is. Like, even if you're like, I've got 10,000 followers, or look at how much, this is actually the big one that's actually most measured. Engagement rate.
Yes.
I've got 1,000 followers, but every single one of my followers is right here, ready for what I give them, ready for the content, ready for, if I want to say, hey, you guys should check this out, they're going to trust me. What is the millennial pause? What is, so, I take offense to this.
I do too,
already.
Personally, but so if you ever notice, like when millennials start a video, right when they first start it, there's like that pause because they're trying to make sure that it's recording. So there's like a slight like delay between when the recording starts and when it starts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like they stand there and they hit start and then they're like, so have you guys?
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many of those I've edited out of this podcast.
That's great. Yeah, no one's counting you in. That you're good. You're going.
You're just going.
That's great.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Untitled Workin' Podcast. I'm Darcy.
I'm Lauren.
And today we are joined by a special guest. It is Phillip. He is a screenwriter and a social media influencer.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome in. We're happy to have you. We usually start our episodes, we talk about our work in progresses, stuff that we're currently working on, trying to get a vamping of, and everything like that. So Phillip, what are you currently working on?
Good question. There's a few things that I'm working on that, boy, I don't know how much I can really say, but a couple of things that are kind of unique. One is actually a vertical series. There are a lot of micro dramas, as they call them, out there, especially in foreign territories like Korea, and they're so popular they're infiltrating the United States. I don't know if you've ever seen those, they're sort of super addictive, like 1-minute dramas that are really cheesy and
bad, so bad.
But
I maybe watch those.
Exactly. You have to keep going. You just can't stop.
It's like Gen Z's version of Candy Crush, just swiping.
Yes,
keep swiping.
Exactly.
Except it costs a lot more.
It's crazy. And I don't know what it is, but like half of it actually is how cheesy it is. Like, this is awful, and you're gonna have to keep watching, like a car accident.
It's got to get better, right?
Yeah. So there are some major studios that are trying to get something going, and so
that's cool.
We're in talks with one of them to create something that's sort of in between the hyper produced Netflix and HBO stuff that you are used to seeing and the straight from the phone but authentic TikTok stuff, right? And we were approached actually by one of these companies because they were looking for something that was kind of hybrid. And if you've seen any of our stuff, we are exactly that. It's sort of like, okay, this almost seems like it's from a movie. We shoot it just on my Sony and we take that time to make it look good, but it's meant for social media, for TikTok, for verticals. And so we're developing a series that is particularly related to that medium. And it's really fun because it's very different from the short form storytelling, but also really unique to this, this vertical space and how we utilize it, how we are used to interacting with it. That makes it pretty unique, kind of different from the long form stuff that we're used to watching. So that's one thing that I'm working on. And then Lauren and I have been tossing this one project back and forth for a while. That I would say that I can't tell you the title, but truthfully it doesn't have a title. So it just we just have not landed on a title yet. But
there's a lot of fun options.
I'm a co-writer now.
Yeah. Right. Well, I would say, I'm stealing her creative energy, but I think she has like way too much creative energy. So
no
it's
such
just
thing.
So much creative energy.
No such thing.
I think the work that you guys are doing, she's probably still just chugging along. And I really love, just brainstorming and breaking story with Lauren, and we have a small team of people that we're kind of collecting as we go. But
yeah, it's fun.
So that's a couple projects that I'm doing right now.
Yeah,
that's very exciting stuff. Yeah, I was actually just talking to somebody the other day about miniseries. I was like, this is going to be the next
100%.
Content consumption. Like,
for sure.
Because the subscriptions and stuff, I think, are more money than like a Netflix subscription and everything like that, and people are spending the money, and people are invested, and they want to see more. And
that's actually kind of
that's very exciting.
It's a little bit of the idea that we have for the social media stuff we've talked about, given the new direction that we're going with Unholy Vows. I think, like Darcy mentioned, we over this last weekend realized we needed a big pivot. We had gotten a little lost in the weeds of some elements of the story that we're working on and had lost the core of it. And after some really, really fantastic feedback, just kind of got right back in line. But it also spawned this idea for like a super fun like social media narrative campaign that would fit very well into something like that. So even if it's just ends up on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, it's still in that vein of like, you want to follow along because it's just like, it's cute and sweet and wholesome and fun, but also the twist that's in there of the concept itself anyways.
Yeah. Do you get to tell your audience in detail a lot of what you're working on, or is it sort of hush hush? Curious to know.
Depends.
Okay.
Depends on the day and where we're at.
That's fair.
We've been, I think we've been pretty open about like the basic concept. And we share a lot of like the process.
Yes.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, I would say
that is really cool.
Yeah.
No, I was just say it's I think the most valuable when people can see the actual workings of a project and how it kind of flourished. Even this moment that you guys are in right now, where you have a major pivot, it's every project. I'm reading Creativity Inc. right now, and that is one of the main managers of Pixar. He really goes into detail about not just the really actually kind of away from the creative side of it, but the management side of it and the business side of it.
Yeah.
And he's surprised when projects don't have major pitfalls and huge like 180 turns.
Yeah.
So
so
it's really cool. I think your audience probably benefits hugely from even the admission that you're like, maybe we need to stop and turn around.
Oh, 100%.
We have actually an episode about that. It'll come out a little bit before this one. So
cool.
Very exciting to share that with everybody too.
Yes. Well, and I would say too, just to piggyback on that, is that like this podcast, we are a professional podcast or semi-professional podcast. But I would say that this podcast has also just been kind of like humbling and helping us stay grounded in the element of like, we're not trying to put on anything shiny and like super polished. And this podcast is like evident of that, but we're trying to like bring people on the journey. So even though we don't always dive into like the specifics of like scenes or certain, I mean, we share stuff about character development stuff, but even though we aren't sharing like the very specifics of like the scenes or the chapters that we're like writing in the moment necessarily, we're still being like, hey, like we said at the beginning of this podcast, the audio is good for everybody now. And Darcy's got good visuals. It's the next step. Then the next step will be getting me good visuals. Like it's a process. And that's one of the things we always say is that everyone's a work in progress. It's a process. So it's like, we're all just, moving forward and trying to show authors that it's not about getting it perfect. It's about showing up.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, I could not agree more. I love that. And I mean, there's so much to glean, even if you've got a fuzzy camera or what have you, you guys have a wealth of knowledge. So I love that you're doing it. Makes me want to do it. You guys, you were like, hey, you know what? Like, it's true. You just got to get your work out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to go for it. Really is. Again, I've said this multiple times, but it's all attributed really to Lauren. Cause she gets these ideas and then she's just like, hey, so you want to be a part of it? And I'm like, please let me be a part of it.
No, it's a team effort.
That's cool, man. It's a special gift to be able to keep driving like that and keep going.
Yeah, and she's got drive for sure.
Honestly, just the fact that I have to get on a phone call, a video podcast with y'all and do this is my motivation to be like, crap, I gotta have something to say. I gotta show up. Yeah.
Well, speaking of showing up and having something to say, what are you currently working on, Lauren?
Ooh, so I am working on the updated Torch script, which has been so much more fun to write than previously. I will be completely honest. I was kind of like dragging myself through that story, which should have been like 20,000 red flags that I just ignored. So yeah, no, I've revamped a good chunk of the Torch already. I'll actually probably send it to you, Darcy, once I have the outline finished, just so I can make sure it sounds good before I actually write like format and everything. But yeah, that's my main focus right now is finishing the outline for that and then formatting it fully. So yeah, that's about it.
Exciting.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
What about you, Darcy?
Darcy.
Thank you for asking. So I am currently still focusing on the novella. That is flowing.
Good.
So much easier.
Yeah.
Also had those red flags on my end too. But it's I got like while I was working, like, and we're usually busy at work, I was able to still like knock out 2 pages of it. So like, and that's like, well, back to back being busy and like writing like a word here and there.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Thanks.
So very exciting stuff.
Yeah. You ready to dive into our next section?
Yes.
Heck yeah. This is where the fun begins.
Get ready. We're gonna ask you your blood type, all your stuff. No.
No.
Do we even know that?
I actually don't know it. I don't know
that
either.
I know mine.
What? Oh, I don't know mine either.
I found a card from when I was like a kid. I was just like, "This is your blood type," and I was like,
"What?
That's cool.
Oh, that's great."
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
No, I mean, it's like, I guess it's on the to-do list, but I mean, like, what do? You know.
You find out what you tattoo on your wrist and be like, "Hey guys."
Yeah. Now, if there was some other way other than drawing blood to do it, I would probably like call someone and be like, "Okay, so I like steak. Can you determine? I don't get a lot of sleep. Is that? Can you? I don't know. Like, tell me
taking
what
a BuzzFeed quiz.
No, this is not a personality test. We're gonna need you to come in.
I'm busy.
Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah. So no, that's a mystery. But I'm up for your other questions though. So let's just keep them coming.
Cool.
Amazing.
All right. So, as Lauren has dubbed this is our pen to paper section.
Heck yeah.
Oh, great. Love it.
So with the pen to paper, I guess the first really big question, so that we can kind of get a feel for you as a writer and an influencer and where you kind of started, I guess, is the big question. What got you into writing? What was the thing that drew you into it and made you want to stick with it?
That's a great question. I made little films when I was younger, all the way as little as 3rd grade. I can remember when you start learning the tricks of like, if you put the camera on a tripod and you press play, and then you quickly press pause in the middle of an action and move something, it appears as if the object magically disappeared or moved somewhere else.
So you were a magician.
Yeah, I suddenly had magical powers at my fingertips, and it was addictive. I think I found, though, the non-linear editing system in junior year of high school, which really opened up my mind, right? Yeah. When you can no longer just kind of like press record and pause. We're so used to this now. It's like I'm kind of aging myself by describing my discovery of what everybody uses these days. But yeah, just like really fell in love with every aspect, not just writing, but that cinematic storytelling, editing things together. Yeah. I would say with writing, though, in particular, there was one moment in high school where we had, for drama class, we had to write a scene and then cast it with the people who were in our class, with a couple of actors that were in our class. So yeah, I just wrote this one scene that was straight out of my mind, right? It was like just that pure creativity that was trying to be dramatic and kind of quippy, though, and witty, and it was between 2 brothers, and I wanted it to be heartwarming, and I wrote the scene between these 2 brothers, and one's the older one and one is the younger one who has a heart condition, and so it ends up being just this, in my mind, I wanted it to be this loving, beautiful moment. And I even had a soundtrack from my mom's Soundscape CD ready to press play at a certain moment. And so we performed it for the probably the parents mostly. It was just like an audience of 100 people. And to see the audience's response to this dramatic scene that I had written, and I directed it as well, but it was that behind the scenes experience of putting pen to paper and see, I tied it in.
Nice job.
And then seeing it go from paper.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. But then there's that other part. Maybe this is the next segment, but it's from the script to the not the screen, but in this case to the audience directly in a live performance. And people were really grabbed by it, and I think that hooked me. The fact that people were impacted by it, and I think the rest was history. After that, I moved to LA after doing a year of what's called YWAM, which is it's a missions organization / university basically, and that was as much post-secondary education as I ever did, and then moved to LA and did all the LA things, filmmaking and background acting, and so. But yeah, that was my start.
That's pretty awesome. That's really cool that you got to have like that emotional connection with the audience with one of the first things that you really like dived into creating. That's really awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the hook for everybody, really. It's just that recognition that you have the ability to reflect life back in people, and that it makes an impact on them. The storytelling, I think, is underrated in terms of how it impacts people. Compared to other forms of trying to persuade somebody or what have you. I think there's something so much more profound if you can do it right to telling a great story that really changed it. It's why they say Hollywood is at the front of culture, because there's so much in stories that tell people who they are and what's good and what's not good and all that. So
I mean, how many people go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how many people grew up on Disney and then they were like, oh, my view of like dating was a little warped.
Absolutely. My favorite movie when I was very young was Titanic. I watched that movie too many times to
as a kid.
Yes, I was young. I think I was in third grade. I watched that thing. I watched that thing too many times, and
never got on a boat ever.
No, I think that there was. I really did. This is a little vulnerable to say, but I think that for a long time, I really did have a perspective on relationship that was, I'm a Jack Dawson, and it's a Romeo and Juliet thing. If there's a flash of energy, doesn't matter what's in your way, you're gonna go get it. And I think that there's a lot of that in romance from the 90s and from the 2000s that permeates in a way that you just don't think. You think it's wholesome, and I don't know. I think it hooked me, and I had to sort of purge myself of it. So
I had to unlearn that too. I did a lot of I was a Disney Channel kid. I didn't actually see the Titanic until last year for the first time, so that wasn't a basis for me. But
that's fine.
I did the Disney Channel kid thing, and my freshman year of high school, I dated a football player and thought it was like all that, and I was going to be popular, and I was still not.
You're ready to break out your High School Musical dance routine.
No. But I had to unlearn a lot of like the way you're shown. But I think it also gives you like really good standards too. Like you can see the things that work and the things that don't. And then really know like what you want and because other people are going to also have those like standards too, because they also grew up on that media. So
go ahead, Phil.
I was just say I think, I don't know, that I guess that is a bit of it's fire when you're writing a story and you realize how much it impacts people. I think everyone has experienced it. I certainly know as an actor as well, there's that addiction to performance that people stand up and applaud for. It's because you recognize you've impacted them, and that's fire. It really is. Like when you're writing a story and where you're trying to portray something that is a reflection of life, I think you're playing with fire. You have to have recognize that you're stewarding something.
For
sure. So
yeah, we actually talked about that last time we did our big brainstorm session. We were one of the reasons we got so caught up in the zombie element of the world that we were creating and got lost in that instead of the other stuff is because we were like, oh, well, how does it start? And some of the things we were kicking around, we were like, well, if people watch this, and not to say that like it's going to have this massive impact, but just saying like since we're stewarding a story, storytelling, if they were to take this to the extreme, like this could have like different impacts on like how people view things, in nature. I'm trying to not give away a ton of the world building we did. I don't know how to say it. But just the way that people view different, like creatures or nature elements and stuff. And it's like, if you see it all the time in movies that have dogs, 101 Dalmatians, pretty much everyone went out after that and was adopting and buying Dalmatians, even though they're a super high energy dog that most people should not have. I mean, you just see it all the time in media of like, if a movie shows something in this light of like, this is the focus or this is the thing, whether it's, a Dalmatian or a sparkly vampire or a werewolf or whatever, people start to put themselves in the place of those characters and say, well, if this worked for them and I love what happened here, then why can't it happen to me?
Yep. Yeah. No, it's a worthy reason to have some pause to say, oh, shoot, I think we're saying something.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way of putting it.
We're saying something. So wait, hold on. What are we saying?
Yeah.
And to really come to terms with that and answer that question before you move on is, critical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
That actually leads really well into our next question. Just talking about the differences between the different mediums that you've written for, because you've done a lot of different types of mediums, and now you're working more in the narrative social media campaign, the vertical space. How has that been different from each other, or has there been differences?
Mm-hmm. In some senses, it's very different because there is such a short attention span on social media that you have to sort of put your storytelling tactics on drugs. And
no time for that millennial pause.
No. Yeah. No, No, in reality, that millennial pause, the first few seconds before you start saying something in the live or something, that's got to go real fast.
Yeah.
It was really fun to start in storytelling on a long form kind of track and apply it to a short form track, because you realize when the rubber meets the road on some of these terms that you have used for so long. I've read Save the Cat. I got into Story by Robert McKee. I tried to analyze all the 24 beats or the 7 acts or is it 3 acts or whatever. Right? Like
for real.
Sometimes
though.
you just sort of get lost in the weeds about what are we even talking about? What does that mean? And when you're telling a short form story and you're trying to get people to stay, I just want you to stay for 61 seconds.
Yeah.
Like on TikTok, there's a barrier specifically that if you make a TikTok 61 seconds and you're monetized, then you can that's a qualified video now. So we've had extensive discussions about how we can turn something into a 61-second video, how we can keep people for 61 seconds. And that's considered long form on TikTok, which is hilarious. But so they're vastly different in many respects, but only in the sense that you really have to apply them on the most extreme way. I've heard it said that when people are scrolling, they're in the fast lane, and when people go onto YouTube, they're kind of in the middle lane. And when people are sitting down to watch Netflix or HBO or something, they're in the slow lane. Their minds are really, they're prepared for a nice opening sweeping shot. Like the millennial pause is fully accepted because you've got a drone shot of the mountains to enjoy while you sit down and you're drinking your soda or whatever it is, right?
You hear the Twilight music coming across.
Yeah, exactly. So you're here for it. And I don't know, like I think we give a lot of flack to the younger generation for being so addicted to their phones, and that's true, but to have these short attention spans. But I think in reality, there's almost been this attention span that we've never really tapped into as a people, which might be bad, might be good, I don't know. But it's that sort of like hyper speed attention span. The fast lane is pretty new to us, and that just you apply a lot of the same tactics, but it's almost altered in a genetic way. It's like very heavily shifted to when you guys are familiar with the opening, kind of, what do they call it? The setting. You can even call it the hook of the opening of the film.
Yeah.
The save the cat moment, right? Like on TikTok, it looks like there's a giant hammer that's 40 feet tall and it's currently falling on top of the world's largest pumpkin.
Oh my God.
And you're going, I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it cuts before it hits and it's like, let me tell you about my business. And you're like, dang it, I'm just going to stick around. Right? Like, that's a story. That's save the cat. It's a storytelling tactic, right? That says, like, it's like Darth Vader breaking in and saying, where are the plans? You're like, uh-oh, I need to stick around.
What plans?
But it's 2 seconds long. You know?
My gosh. Can you imagine if there was, like, someone who cut, like, one of the Star Wars episodes, like episode 4, into, like, TikTok bites?
Yes.
You probably could.
A New Hope is 1 minute long.
Yeah.
Well, no, you just do it like episodically, like you're talking about for the verticals. Yeah. You're just like, you got 61 seconds, bro. Here we go. We're gonna have 361 second videos.
I'd watch.
Same.
I'd watch it.
Lucas.
I feel like I'm like in the ultra fast lane half the time too, because like the 2 times speed. Like I'll even watch like those like mini episodics, and I'll watch them in 2 times speed. The whole, I watch them in 2 times speed.
How?
Don't shame her. Don't shame her for those episodics.
Listen,
shame her for the 2 times speed, but not the episodics.
That's the thing that I'm mind blown about. Is like I've seen people listen to podcasts on 2 times speed, but they're not physically like. Even if you're watching stuff, it's just 2 people talking to each other. But a video is like moving pieces and like.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the way that they're filmed, since they are for like TikTok and Instagram, but like TikTok and Instagram videos always have to be on 2 times speed for me. So if I watch those episodics, then they have to be on 2 times speed, or else I fall out of the interest very quickly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
do you watch our like marketing videos on 2 times speed on TikTok?
I do. I listen to our podcast on 2 times speed.
Oh my gosh, we all just sound like chipmunks.
Yeah.
I can't like.
Yeah.
I can have like in-person conversations like this can be normal speed. We're all talking and I can follow it. Yeah. But if I'm on social media, I'm losing interest like that. If it's not fast enough, I can't, my brain is like, it wanders. I start to think about something else.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a different part of the brain. And there's whole science to it. It's creepy science. It's like all the makers of these apps know the science. We don't really know the science, but they do.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the next project Philip's working on.
They perfected it.
Yeah, they have, for sure.
The creepy scientist preying on our psychology.
Yeah.
That sounds too close to home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Well, that also leads again perfectly into the next question. How do you find social media helps you with your writing and with your creation of projects, to make sure, even with like your long form projects that aren't the verticals, how do you think it helps produce that in a better way?
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind is actually just getting reps. When we create like a 1 minute short, it for us takes a little bit more work than the usual person. It's really actually the whole process of filmmaking, from development to production to post-production. I guess any TikToker, anybody kind of understands that generally, but we go in it in a slightly more official capacity, where we write it one day, we shoot it another day, and then I'll spend 1 or 2 days editing it, depending on how extensive it is. And then you put it out there. And a huge lesson, going from a screenwriter who's sort of a writer for hire for productions, who they might actually bring me on and get a script done and then go out and try to do fundraising for it and never get the money for it. And I put in 6 weeks of work and you never see it. I feel like I'm lucky when I get to see a movie that I wrote on the screen. And it's happened, it's like a handful of times, but it's really rare. It really is rare. And the most valuable part of that is watching it and going, that didn't work. Like, the way I wrote that the director didn't understand what I was trying to portray there. Or I think I moved on from that plot point too quickly. I didn't let it sit and dwell.
Okay.
Or, and all of that was like such a rarity to experience when I was making long form content, like meaning feature films. And when we make this stuff on Instagram and TikTok, you can see the analytics. Like
Mhm.
literally, you can see what percentage of people are still watching after 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And when you make a video
Wow.
and you look, you go, oh my gosh, like 75% of people clicked away in 4 seconds.
Mm.
Why?
Huh.
Why did that fail? Or man, look at that drop off in the last 4 seconds. Everyone stopped watching. Like, well, it was kind of a funny moment, a little like silent pause at the end, but really, let's cut that next time.
Mm.
You know, like
Mm.
all of the little iterative changes
Yeah.
that you learn when you're making a short form, and you have that ability to post it and immediately go to your audience and see what they like, what they don't like. It really refines your writing process. And I think that does transition over to long form. I mean, very much so. Like to sort of deconstruct all of the fast-paced, fast lane language into that slow lane language is actually, I think it's pretty doable. And real, like applying what you learn in short form, actually, I think can be done pretty well if you're making a long form. I think it only enhances my ability to tell a story. So yeah, that's probably the biggest help that I can think of, is just constantly making more and more content and learning each time.
Yeah. Do you find that now that you have this experience with
Yeah.
short form, do you find that you now, when you go into long form, are trimming the fat in the script writing process, or that you're actually getting into this, like, I'm just going to shoot it anyways, and then I know going into post that I'll probably end up trimming it, but for some reason it ends up being gold, we're keeping it, or we have it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. There is this aspect with that iterative process that I think lets you be a little open-handed with it as well.
Yeah.
And to let things happen spontaneously if they need to. I'm way, way more that way than I used to be.
Okay.
You know, I wrote like 12 drafts of my first script and 12 drafts of my second script, and you know, just got so burdened by making it perfect.
Yeah.
And you know, a novel is one thing, Darcy, where you know that people are they plan on reading this, and you're going directly to the audience. But a screenplay is like, it's literally blueprints to a building. It's not going to be seen by anybody except for the people funding it, the people producing it, the people performing it, and that's it. So it's just vastly different. And so in that sense, I think being open-handed with everything and letting things come has been a big takeaway from the way that we do stuff. And yeah,
Yes.
Lauren, I think you've experienced that with the way that we've done the project we're working on.
Yeah,
it's a little bit fly by the seat of our pants, and I'm not usually like that, but you know, here we are. There's this book that's called A More Beautiful Question that I definitely recommend, and it's not a screenwriting book. It's a book, I would say, for entrepreneurs. It's a book for people who are, I think it's a thinking book, and kind of how-to, kind of a little bit of like self-help, but basically it just analyzes the big innovations of the world and of history and how they came about. There's one story, for example, of the person who made Polaroid pictures, and he took a picture he was on a vacation, and he took a picture on his camera, and his little 3-year-old daughter ran up and said, "Why can't we see the picture now?" And that's the first question that is of the more beautiful. He sort of has a list of questions to ask.
I love
and
that.
The why question is first. And but anyway, I sort of I'm getting distracted here because the point that I'm trying to get to is and I always do this whenever I start talking about it, because I love the book so much that I like can't help but recommend it to people.
No,
and
that's
I'm like,
great.
What were we talking about? But yes, a more beautiful question asks the questions: why is something the way that it is? What if and how? And there's an anecdote in this. Now I'm back on track. I'm grateful. The anecdote is actually it's about this iterative process of learning as you go. There was a study done that it was at a university that's I'm totally forgetting, but they basically had some college students tasked with creating some architecture from like popsicle sticks. They had to create a building from popsicle sticks, and they gave the same task to like fifth graders. The college students had 1 month to create one popsicle stick tower, and the fifth graders were tasked with making a popsicle stick tower every day.
Oh, interesting.
And
okay.
Yeah, and so by the end of the month, the fifth graders not only had way more popsicle towers, but their popsicle towers that they were making were better than the ones that the college students had, one whole month to make. Because by the time you get to 25 days of making a popsicle tower, you can do it faster. You've learned a ton of how not to, and you're able to just learn from all of those mistakes that you've made.
Yeah.
So it was just a huge lesson to me. And you know what? Maybe I'm spending way too much time on these projects and analyzing and assessing whether or not something might work. Let's just put the rubber to the road. Let's see if it works. Just put it out there. And that's the only way you're going to know.
I love that. Honestly, like, I wish I had recognized that. I'm sure somebody told me something similar to that, but I wish I had recognized that early in my career. Just because it's like, I think I was always worried that there was like a certain way you needed to do things and a certain process to get there. And if like being in that millennial generation of having access to, enough to get something going, but worrying that it's not high enough quality so people won't take me seriously because it doesn't come across professional enough, like was always just kind of like a stopgap for me, where it was just like, you've got something, but it's not that good. So if somebody in the industry sees it, they're going to think, oh, she just doesn't really know what she's doing, and then pass and go on. I was like, I'd rather they never see me and never see it good because it's not good than to like see me and see something half done.
Yeah. No, it's like the tyrant of creativity.
Yeah.
I think is that overthinking kind of fear of failure. Pixar again, I think says something like fail fast. That's what they say.
And fail often.
Quickly. And fail often. Right?
Yeah. I had that fear a lot with like novel writing, because I've been writing novels since I was like, gosh, really little. And I I'd only show my parents and I wouldn't show other people, and I'd wind up getting mad because it wasn't perfect, so I'd never finish them. And then the way that I trained myself out of that was fan fiction. I started just like putting characters in these situations that I thought would be funny, and then posting them online and just being like, man, people will see this, people won't. And then I got good feedback, and I was like, oh, I can get real-time feedback with this. This kind of shows me like how to become better at what I'm doing.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, it fills the tank, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think more people, if that would be like the one piece of practical advice, it'd be, like just start iterating. Like look at your career or look at your creativity as an iteration. It's not the first thing you come out with is not going to be this wonder kid thing. Like there will always be, Christopher, the Aragon guy. There will always be Aragon guys out there, but there's not that many Aragon guys. So it's like, just start iterating.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, was it 50 Shades of Grey started as a fan fiction, and then she created more iterations and it became 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
Was it Twilight?
It was a Twilight fanfic. Yeah. Which I'm like, I don't know how we got there from that, but
yeah, I know. What happened to the vampire?
Yeah.
Or also way more subtle.
Yeah. Necro, I guess is what he is.
Pretty much.
No.
Anyway.
Anyways.
Darcy, take us from here.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh wait,
you brought up 50 Shades.
No, that's fair.
I did. That's on me. That's definitely on me. So I guess. All right. So one of my bigger questions, when you are going about writing something and you want to make sure it's hitting like the proper audience. Do you how do you go about doing that? Do you like outsource to people who don't usually watch the genre? What do you recommend for getting the feedback that you need to know that this will be a hit amongst multiple people instead of just one niche group?
Or that it's working in general, especially for comedy. Because you guys do a lot of comedy.
Yeah. So the question is, how do I know what my audience wants, basically?
Yeah, like pretty much. It was a long-winded way to ask it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't tell you. The audience is the hardest one. I feel like we really struggle with audience and who our audience is. We made a short that went really viral that was about when you're an introvert they cancel plans on you right as you're heading out the door. And
Yeah, that's the one I've
you
seen.
have to, you have to like pretend like you're so upset about it, but you're like already prepping the pajamas and the movie night and the wine, right? And that's like it really hit home with a lot of people, and so we've done more introverted stuff that we want to be true to what we think and who we are. But you got to admit, you're kind of thinking, well, what's another introvert thing that we can put out there because that one did so well. And I think, frankly, you just like that mindset hasn't done us too well. Like it is just, it's
okay.
Well, one thing that we have a double-edged sword to deal with is that we are aiming for the general audience. When you're on YouTube or TikTok, I mean, any platform that you see, they'll tell you, the experts will say to find your genre, find your niche. And it's true that a lot of channels, you go there and they're straight up like fishing videos, no matter what. This person's, he's on the lake, he's got a line in the water and it bites. And you're like, all right, cool. I'm going to subscribe to this guy because I want that. I just want to see them catch a fish. And I expect it every single time. And if you keep posting them, I'll keep watching. And I think for us, we've tried to find that niche, and we're just kind of realizing that with Leah and Phillip as our brand, anytime we try to pick one particular avenue, it's very non-fulfilling for us. And I think doesn't quite hit what our intention initially was, which was to just share who we are, share a little bit of our lives and our creativity with people. So I think that we discovered our niche as cinematic filmmakers who perform shorts. Like, no matter what that is, it literally is just like a married couple that makes cinematic like skits. And I don't know, it's a weird thing because it's like, oh, it's not a fishing video, but anytime you watch our stuff, you go, oh, that's Leah and Phillip. Like it looks like a shot on a film camera, and it's good performances, I'd like to think. And you know what I mean? So it's kind of strange. It's like we discovered, oh, that's also a niche. And so our audience is pretty broad. It's very broad. And so I can't tell you much about like how to hit your audience demographic and all that. We're just kind of making stuff that we like, and we're trying to make good quality. And frankly, it is a perpetual ongoing conversation about audience. Like we're trying to make sure that people like it and the people that have subscribed like it. But I can't tell you that we've nailed it, because we certainly have not nailed the audience. It's a tough question.
Well, but there's also something just kind of like beautiful and freeing to be like, we're just gonna make like us. Like you don't have to be so niche. You aren't the fly fishing video channel versus the salmon fishing video channel versus the great white shark fishing video channel. I don't know, there are no fishes for those, but that would be real niche.
You gotta send me that channel. I'll subscribe real quick.
But it's like,
weird. It's only 2 videos. And then the person
what
got
happened?
eaten.
They're all titled Jaws. Just look up Jaws and you'll find the videos about people hunting great white sharks.
There we go.
But I mean, it's just like it's got to be so, on one hand a little tricky, but also just like by being able to be free in that creativity of like who are we and what do we like, and then being validated by other people also liking it.
It is. It's freeing a lot of times, but sometimes then something fails and you go, well, shoot, what do we do better? And a lot of the times it becomes an existential crisis, and you have to figure out what direction are we supposed to go, and are we failing our audience? Is it the algorithm? Is it the who knows?
Probably. It's always the algorithm.
Probably.
Right.
Always.
And sometimes you never get answers on it, really. You're just, like, I don't know. I don't know why that one didn't do well, especially when you post across all 3 platforms, meaning TikTok, Instagram, which posts to Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah. So there's 4 platforms there. It's so shocking sometimes that you will post the same short, exact same video on all the platforms, and one of them gets like 1,200 views. Like, oh, your friends and family watched it, and then the other one will have 4 million views.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And you'd be like, what is up with that?
Oh my gosh.
I don't get it. I don't know. I understand. Yeah. So, and I think that there are definitely different audiences for each of them. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Almost like generational audiences and expectations, so, and that's something that we're learning kind of the hard way too, and figuring out what what fits on each platform. But man, I couldn't tell you I'm an expert on it. It's just, it feels like a crapshoot every time.
Hey, fair enough.
Serious.
I appreciate the honesty for sure.
Yeah, honestly.
We're all about honest,
No, yeah.
real conversations.
No, I mean, we'll, and the best parts are when like Leah's certain something's gonna do great, and I'm like, that's not gonna do well, and we post it and it does great, and I'm like, of course I should have listened to it.
That's when that's the next video idea, pretty much.
Yeah.
Taking bets on which
Exactly.
video is actually gonna work.
Yeah.
But don't. It comes back around too. There'll be something like, no, this is it. This is great, and I'm like, I don't know, and then it fails, or I'm like, no, this is great, and it works. So. Yeah, but that's the fun part of that iterative process is I think you keep refining and growing and learning, and there's no shortage of lessons to be learned about posting shorts and making content.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think it's probably good to like really being passionate about the ones that you're creating, like making sure that you're having a good time while you do it, because I think that translates like a ton, especially in short form.
Yeah, for sure. We posted a poll recently on YouTube to our followers. We have 57,000 followers on YouTube.
Nice.
And a lot of them came from different shorts. A lot of them came from the long form stuff that we post, Dungeons and Dragons, Star Wars stuff, introvert stuff, like whatever it is. So we asked them what they wanted to see. And the last poll option we had was our film project that we've done for 5 years now. And it was kind of saddening that was it. But what we realized too is that nobody knows anything about the film. In fact, Dungeons and Dragons is an intellectual property. So it already has a built-in audience. And so we're constantly learning about why people want to see something and how you can make them want to see something and all of that, but it's always learn. I don't think that we'll ever say that we feel like we're masters with on it. It's just always going to feel like you're figuring it out.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a question for you, Phillip. So we've talked a little bit about like your story of like starting out when, technology was a little bit less accessible, or was a little bit, earlier in its stages than it is now.
Yes.
Given where you're at now and what you've seen over the last several years, especially since you guys are in the social media game as filmmakers and storytellers, if you were to have to start over, what would be like one or two things you'd be like, I have to do this to get going? Or if someone was like, hey, I'm starting out, what do I need to do like practically?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it's different for what I would do and for what I would recommend other people do.
Okay.
Because I would say that my skill set we discovered on social media that is pretty unique to that landscape is it was like I think someone said it's like a quality blast. It's not the right phrase, but basically it's like a shock to the eye when you see something that looks really crisp and oh wow, they shot it on a nice camera. It's very polished. And so I would say, well, first off, one thing I've learned is that social media is really, really essential for whatever you're doing. Like if I had to start over with filmmaking and storytelling and kind of build my career, I think the first thing I would do is start a social media account and try to post what I love, great quality content onto that account.
Nice.
And keep growing the audience. It's on the flip side, when I'm screenwriting or when every aspect, acting, spent 12 years in LA doing those things, you are at the mercy of other people.
Yes.
And there's no getting away from it. Yeah. We spent those 5 years producing a film ourselves from script to screen with us in front of the cameras and behind the cameras, doing it ourselves. We finished it and then we submitted it to film festivals and waited for people to tell us whether or not they were going to let us show it to others. Yeah. And social media is directly to your audience. And what the artist, I think, has always, at least in the recent history of social media, has bemoaned about social media is that there are people with these big audiences that just get plucked up for huge projects. And now suddenly they're a big actor or they're a huge musician or they're a filmmaker because they have 500,000 followers or 1 million followers.
Mhm.
Well, the reality is that they're going directly to the audience.
Yeah.
And the audience says, I like
want
you.
that. Mhm.
I like what
Yeah.
you do, and I want to see more.
Yeah.
And that is really, really, really valuable, especially when there's a bunch of experts out there who will tell you that's not good. No one wants to see that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, when you can show, hey, I'm already doing it.
Yeah.
I'm already doing it on my social media,
Mhm.
and this one has 5 million views. That has 20 million views. That has,
Mhm.
I've got 200,000 followers, or whatever it is. Like, even if you're like, I've got 10,000 followers, or look at how much. This is actually the big one that's actually most measured. Engagement rate.
Yes.
I've got 1,000 followers, but every single one of my followers is right here, ready for what I give them,
Mhm.
ready for the content,
Yeah.
ready for, if I want to say, hey, you guys should check this out, they're going to trust me.
Yeah.
Like, so you
Yeah.
actually don't need to have a huge following. You just need to have people out there who say, no, this is really good, and you
Yeah.
should trust it.
Mhm.
And that is a lot of power when you've got a ton of middlemen ready to tell you that you need to give them money, or that it's not good enough,
Mhm.
or that you need to wait
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of answers your question, but I guess I'm just trying to lay home, like, you have the power right now,
Yeah.
in your hands to go to your audience and to make stuff.
Yeah.
So you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sorry, you have to.
Okay, Philip, we'll go do it now.
Do it. Gosh.
All right, we're writing. Go, Darcy.
Yeah.
I'm going.
Oh gosh, that's fantastic. I mean, I love the practicality of it, and I think sometimes we kind of bog ourselves down of like, I need somebody to validate this, or to give permission, or to say yes, it's
Mhm.
accepted, in order for us to move
Yeah.
forward. But like we've been talking about all throughout this entire episode, like iterate. Like, you don't need to ask permission to iterate. And these people that are getting snatched up is because, I mean, the industry, whether it's film or book, is a business, and people want to make money in the business. And in order to do that, they know you need to have an audience. And so the people on social media who've built an audience that engages has already found that. And all they're doing is capitalizing on it. So it's like, for us artists, if that's where we're feeling frustrated, like there's no one stopping us from going and doing that ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
It's really good.
Yeah, I think because that was something. Sorry, my brain like ran away with the thought.
No, we wouldn't. We shall now pause for reflection.
Yes, honestly, that would be hilarious. Everyone, take a moment of
Everybody
silence.
must.
Yeah, just cut and do music for a moment.
5 hours later.
Oh no, that'd be a long podcast.
I can't export that long. I'll be at the. No.
They'll swipe away. It's not gonna happen.
It's not.
gonna work.
Yeah. That even says nope.
Nope.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you gonna say, Darcy?
So I think definitely like the engagement portion is one of the harder things to start. Like, and I think that why your advice on like starting it as soon as you can is I think honestly the best advice for building that audience. Because me and Lauren, we've both been trying for a while now to really like figure out the social media niche of it all. We've been trying to figure out what we need to post, how to post it, and we're growing slowly. We get the views.
Oh my gosh,
both of our accounts are showing like they're crazy. I mean, I went from like I would get like 180 views on my profile like a month, and I think now like I'm getting over 4,000, but we're not getting the interactions and the follows. So we're trying to figure out what about it is drawing them in but not keeping them. Right.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So,
it's so sad to see those impressions and then be like, there was no conversion.
What platform are you talking about?
Instagram mostly. TikTok we're slowly building. So like
because we actually started doing videos with actual video, not just our cover photo for the podcast.
Oh yeah. That's huge.
But
that's
helpful.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was a big one. We've definitely noticed an increase since we started doing like the videos instead of like even the video itself as the cover instead of like the podcast header as the cover.
Yeah.
That's been drawing in more.
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah.
So,
that makes sense.
But we've also been trying to kind of draw people in because we want to have a section within the podcast called the Peanut Gallery, where people will ask us questions and we kind of go over and we answer them and we talk about their stories and what they want to share with us. So we've been
Well,
like trying to open that up across platforms. We have an email address, untitledworkinpodcast@gmail.com.
Nice plug.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. Thought that was pretty smooth.
Well done.
There's so without having seen any of that stuff, it makes me think about maybe a couple of those principles for social media that we've learned kind of the hard way, and also just sort of studied too. And you guys are probably familiar with this, but I think a couple of like basic things that will kind of boost your views are just recognizing that the first 1 second is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like, it's the most important by far, because it just, people are scrolling. People are watching 2x scrolling just like you.
So I get 2
Yeah.
seconds if for the 2x people. 2 times
Yeah.
speed people, I get 2 seconds.
Yeah. And so
Make them count.
So if you
No
drop
pressure.
them in to some part of the conversation that they feel even like they might need to catch up a little bit, that's good. That's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
They say the most extreme part of the whole conversation right there at the top, and the audience has to go, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold on, okay, let me listen to what this person's saying, because now I just need to know. I've got these itching ears for that, so
I love it.
That makes sense.
That might automatically kind of jump the views up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to try that with the stuff that we've been releasing for sure. It's a good idea.
Yeah,
it's so
makes
stupid. It's absurd that like the one first. I mean, people break down the first half second, right? Like the moment that someone registers that this is here's what the video is.
Yeah.
It's like within that first half second.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, how is it that we are capable? It's crazy that we as humans are capable of going like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I do that. You do that.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can determine. In 1 second, I've probably scrolled 3 videos sometimes. Why? Because the first frame, the first third of a second, I know whether or not I want to watch it. Like that says a lot.
Yeah.
It's
a good point.
So
when in
that is a
doubt,
very good
refer
point.
back to your own social media habits and be like, would I even
Yes.
care?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's so crazy because you're a consumer and your mind is so in the hunger phase where you're like, I'm just hungry right now. You don't think about who's feeding you and how they're feeding you. And so to stop and be like, wait, what am I eating right now? And how did I grab this and decide to consume it? It's a cool practice. I totally agree. We'll have to do another episode later about social media in particular. And get into the weeds about it.
Oh, 100%. Yes. Well, I guess moving into our next segment, what are you working on? What is it? I'm going to butcher this.
What are your goals?
Oh, thank you. What are your goals, Phillip, for this upcoming couple of weeks or months or whatever your time frame is?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. I think that we have some decisions to make about our trajectory. There's some gigs that are we're playing, kind of toying around with, that are they're like ancillary to what we do, and have to decide if we want to jump on those. It's going to take some time, some investment, some energy. But when you're doing social media, we decided to do it full time.
Yeah.
And even set aside sort of my desire or my sort of outreach for screenwriting and to other producers and stuff, and just focusing on this. It means it's really an investment. It's a business investment. Yeah. So we're trying to see if there's some projects and some gigs, some even jobs, like the job kind of job out there, to sort of sustain what we do. Yeah. Where we're at right now is that, like, I think doing full-time social media content creation with your spouse, it can be really stressful, when you're banking on brand deals, when you're having to come up with content all the time. And for us, we shoot in our home. Like, we get sick sometimes. We get sick of like the couch that's in our living room because we're always shooting on it. And it's got these big box lights that are sitting there. You've got to tear them down in order to just enjoy your evening, And so, so I think that we're definitely like, those are some of the big decisions, but we also have some goals that I can't quite express right now because we're going to make some announcements here pretty soon that we're very, very excited about.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do that just yet. But when we do
Exclusive.
announce, we'll do that social media episode, and by that time we'll have announced, and I'll tell people a little bit more about it. But yeah,
we'll do a special little bonus episode just with you guys. You and Leah can both come on.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, because it definitely involves the two of us.
Yeah.
So
exciting.
We'll get into that in the future. But that'll occupy a lot of time, and we're very excited for it. So more to come.
Ooh, exciting!
Awesome.
I love leaving it
very
as like
exciting.
a teaser.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Lauren, what are your goals for the coming weeks?
You beat me to it. I was going to ask you that question. My goal is going to be to edit the novella as soon as it's ready to be edited. And also to find a graphics artist for the cover. So,
ooh, yes.
Yes, I need to start hunting that down. And if people are hearing this, I mean, when this airs, I'll probably still be hunting. But if you are a graphics designer for book covers, feel free to hit us up. I'll probably still be looking at that point.
Yeah.
But
fair enough.
Anyways,
good goals.
Yeah, Darcy, how about you? What are you working on?
Well, it's a lot of pressure since your goals are directly tied to mine. So my goal, of course, is to finish the novella, and then get started on the novel itself.
Yes.
As well as shopping around with you for cover artists.
I love it.
And I also have the goal of finding 2 more podcast guests.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Our last 2.
Yeah.
Dang.
So
our last 2 for season 1. That's exciting.
Yeah. Please email me back.
Yeah, I know, right. We've got 2 that we're very hopeful about, excited about if we can get them on, because there are 2 areas of the writing industry that I don't think gets featured a whole lot. So actually our last 3 are all kind of in that realm. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's great.
So very exciting.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. So
wait.
I guess. Yes.
Philip, where can our audience find you? Our audience of 5 people.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding. There's a few more than that. There's like 10. I wish I was kidding.
Those clips out, you cut them to the first 1 second. You know, you're gonna get more. You're gonna get off of.
There you go.
But yes, where can people find you?
Across the board, our social media handle is Leah and Phillip, Leah, and Phillip with 2 L's. So if you hopefully if you just type in Leah and Phillip and you generally get it, it will pop up. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook,
love it.
Anywhere.
Nice.
And I would say that's where I would direct everyone, because that's where we post everything right now.
Yeah.
So.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead, Darcy.
Oh, I was just gonna say, do you have any projects that you wanted to talk about and bring and bring to the attention of our listeners as well?
No. If there are, we're just doing those shorts right now that are on our TikTok, and everything else is a little bit closer to the chest. If I had anything that I could direct people to, then I'll come back on and I'll have something ready. But no, not right now. Just go check out our social media. Honestly, we put a ton of effort into these shorts, and I think they're pretty fun and pretty entertaining. They're just supposed to be kind of funny, lighthearted, and very cinematic looking. So go to Leah and Phillip and binge watch our stuff and give us a follow, and then I'll be very happy.
I saw the one, I don't know if you guys posted it today or a couple days ago, because I'm not on social media super consistently, but it was the one where you apologized to Leah and then she took the cup at the end.
Yeah.
I was laughing. I haven't seen the original, and that was like a fun little twist. I was like, oh, yep.
Yeah.
It's great content.
Thanks. It was a lot of fun. And, we have gotten so much of our stuff sort of stolen by people. They'll make it and they'll shoot like the same exact thing, and they won't tag us. And we'll get upset about it. Not when we get upset about it because they don't tag us, but the version that they make is terrible. It's offensively bad. And so what we've just started doing is we've started to, if we really like a skit, and it's shot on an iPhone, maybe it's very simple, then we will deliberately tag these people like first
Oh, yeah.
up, and then we'll make it look cinematic, so that
Yeah.
hopefully they just go like, hey, they took it and they added to it as
Yeah, it's
opposed
a
to
twist.
Yeah.
stealing it.
Yeah.
You know. And so
Yeah.
and I think that was our first one actually, where we're like, hey, we love this video so much, like, can we do
I
a
love
cinematic
it.
short about it? And,
Yeah.
and that's our most recent one. So people actually
Yeah.
by now, I guess when it publishes, it won't be our most recent one.
Yeah.
But it's up there. It's
I
still
will
up there.
say, I think that's a brilliant marketing
we timestamped our
strategy.
video.
No. I think that's a brilliant marketing strategy, honestly, because not only are you getting in front of your viewers and then people who might be searching for something similar, but you're directly tagging the OG people in there. So you're giving credit to people, which is something that does not happen often enough online with online content nowadays. And you're also tapping into them and their audience and showing. I mean, it is a form of like flattery to be like, oh, I like you were really good at this thing, and then I put my twist on it, which is the cinematic element. Like, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, for sure. We'll probably do more, and hopefully people don't get upset about it. That's kind of the nature of social media, is reposting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Super common to do. I think just tagging them in it is the best way to do it.
Oh yeah,
honestly, because countless times I'll see people post videos where they're like, oh, this person's doing my content, but they're not tagging me. Like, I wouldn't have cared. Just tag me. It's my idea.
No, for real.
Yeah. What's the harm in that? It's so crazy to see that. People will just not, they'll be like, they'll make this video. I don't want to get into details or specifics about
We'll save it for the social media episode.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. But, anyway.
No, I get
thanks for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it, and the conversation. I love what you guys are doing. I love that you're letting people in on the process a little bit, because there can be both a sort of glorification of writing, like, oh, you're screenwriting, you're making great things, but there's also a pretty heavy fear around getting started and what it looks like. And so I love that you're just you're peeling back the veil a little bit and showing people what writing is like, and you're giving a lot of wisdom and bring people on who can help them along the way. I think it's very cool what you're doing here. So keep it up. I love it. I'm honored to be on the podcast.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming. Yeah, honestly, it's our guests that I feel like elevate this process. I feel like we're just kind of like the boots on the ground in the dirt and the dust, being like, we're trying. It's dirty. It's messy. It's not the easiest. And then we bring in, guests like you that are like, I've made it to a certain level. You can get there.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, so.
So cool. You guys can find us, of course, on all streaming platforms, as well as Instagram at Misty Morning Stories. We publish on streaming platforms under Misty Morning Studios, though.
I know it's not consistent. I got to work on that.
But we always love talking to you guys. We love talking to our guests.
Heck yeah.
And just remember, everybody is a work in progress.
It's a process. Heck
yeah.
Awesome. We did this time.
Yay.
Nice work, guys.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Phillip, and everybody else who jumped in to listen. And we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah, see you next week.
Bye.